morning. Good morning. Good morning. As you can tell, I just stepped out of the shower. As you can also tell, I need a haircut. Starting to get long on the sides. Starting to get long. That's okay. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Who's having a good Friday? Well, you're probably thanking yourself. You're probably having even better of a Friday now that you're here. Speaking of which, I need to go grab my green tea. I'm early, so you're going to see my bathroom for one moment. I'll be right back. Lucy, I'm home. I'm here. Don't worry. Worry not. Matt is here. Hello, good morning, Dave, Frank, Leroy, Richard. We're getting started with a nice French press here full of some green tea. And it's good. I like me some green tea. Hello, Joe Walsh. Denver, I like Denver. Get some of those voodoo donuts. I was just in Denver on a layover. So I didn't get to leave the airport, but I was sitting in the airport. Greetings from Canada. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is go sit at one of the airport lounges and wait for my layover and get a lot of work done. We're gonna get started here. I think it's finally 8:30. If you haven't already heard the news, Nordic, maybe it's appearing for you the right way, maybe it's backwards like it is for me, but Nordic is taking the wet shaving world by storm. This is our newest small batch series shave soap. This is the vegan base. We called it Nordic because it smells so good. It really does. This was our most popular thing I took to the Idaho meetup. This has got scent notes of cedarwood, eucalyptus, citrus, and meadowgrass. Good stuff. It's officially wife approved. I guarantee you your wife will like it too because it smells real clean and modern and fresh and a little woodsy. Women like that kind of stuff. I know. My wife said, my wife actually helped to name it. So my wife is Norwegian and, well, not name it. She helped me pick out the label. So like we have an artist and he gives us a few versions and there was one with like shields, and there was one with, I don't know, big fjords, or so, I don't know, something else. But this one was cool. It has a boat and the fjords, and again, so her family's from Norway, like recently, like I think second generation, and so she's like, that's just so beautiful. It's got the little boat and the fjords, and it's got greenery, and like that looks like Norway, and I'm like, all right. So then when she got to smell it, she's like, this is so great. You should wear this all the time. And I'm like, I just may. Okay, enough of that. Let's do the cold. So I just popped out of the shower, just threw a little comb through my hair. Let's try a little towel action. And we're going to put some cold water on the beard. A little exfoliation action too. It's been probably I think I shaved Monday night. Today's Friday, so yeah, it's been like 4 days. So yeah, last weekend, traveled to the Idaho meetup, hence why I was in Denver. Yeah, my grays are really coming out. I gotta get a haircut. Never been to Idaho before, and this was Idaho Falls, which is kind of like a really small town. What's up, Tony? What's up? I got a new ring light too. So here, before we go further, I'm gonna paint it black. Watch this. I can do different colors, so tell me which one's best. So this is the one I think looks best. Hello. There's this one's more blue. I look purple. This one makes me look orange. Hello. And that's the one I picked. There's only 3 settings. I'm using half of a Razor Emporium pre-shave cube. Yeah, cube. Pre-shave bar. It's almost a cube. I'm using this because I cut the other half off and took it with me on my travels. I figured I didn't need a whole bar for a couple days away. I didn't want TSA seeing it being like, that's over whatever size. I just I'll cut it in half. And what did I use to cut it in half? A double-edged blade. That was fun. So hopefully I get a sip of green tea here and not soap. Let's see. Good stuff. So yeah, went up to Idaho Falls, very small airport, and shout out to Aaron Boggs from Frugal Shave. Aaron is the VIP. He drove up from New Mexico all the way to Idaho Falls, so he had his own vehicle. And like a week beforehand, he's like, "Hey man, do you need a ride from the airport?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'll be there. Send me your flight information." And there he was, waiting outside of the very, very small terminal, airport, and it was so nice just to pop in the car. Aaron's been out to the Arizona Shavers meetups, and I've seen him at a lot of other meetups over the years. Aaron's a good dude from Frugal Shave. So if you're looking for some custom 3D printed shave accessories, go see Aaron. And here we go with Nordic. I've swirled it for just a few seconds. As you know, I'm a face latherer, which just means I'm into high efficiency shaving. I appreciate the bowls. I used to have a bowl. It's a really cool one from Target. I think it's cool that all the craftspeople who make the bowls. But I've always just found going right on is right on. Got a little glob here. But see, I was smart this time. I wore a white shirt. Do you flip your DE blade when it's dull? No. These are like pennies, guys. Come on. No, I don't. When it's dull, it's dull. I say that, I'm going to use a Persona 74. Yeah, so hopefully the light is flattering. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it needs to be more like over here. You guys tell me. I'm trying to make my little bathroom here into a studio. So I do live shaves that look decent. It's hard because I have this big window, but then it's fall and the sun's low elevation because it's a globe. And, we got a tree over here too, so I don't get a lot of light coming through. Hot Towel Barbershop okay, hold on, I gotta see the rest of that. I went for a hot towel shave in a barbershop in Bucharest. The girl did my sides and under chin with the razor, then she did the rest, electric shaver. Oh. Basket morning shave on Rex Envoy. Cool. Worst $15 spent. How much blade field does Sentry have? Buenos dias, Matt. So yeah, we'll talk Sentry. Let's get into it. There's only one right now that is done. There's one and done, and that is currently in Indiana with Marissa, my social media and video editor. We will, though, we were told, so here's the update. The official update is that our handles have been done for like weeks, and that we actually are supposed to get today caps and guards from the machine shop here locally, and then we're going to start our process. So people think like the machine shop makes the whole thing. No, like we still have to do quite a lot. We still have to do any deburring work, and then they go through 2 different stages of tumbling through walnut and corn cob, and then they need to get brush finishing for the cap. And then sometimes sandblasting at the bottom of the console gets sandblasted. These ones we're going to see if it needs it. I think it will. So a little sandblast, then laser engrave, and that's again in-house, and then packaged, and that again is in-house. So like all those processes happen in-house. But we've been telling people on or before Black Friday, for the Sentry. So either we're shipping on or before, or it's going to be on Black Friday shipping. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Okay, so in terms of blade feel, it's designed around console, around where I thought it felt like it was really efficient and not too aggressive, which for me was like, we made like 8 versions of the guard, and it's 4A or 4B, I forgot which one. We made like versions, like not just setting 4, but like some variations of 4. So it's not all the way up on the dial, but it's not too mild. So I think it's going to be right in the nice healthy spot. And as I've been asking other people who use the console, that's where they were using it. So it's kind of like the Ambassador gets used more towards 3, so that's what Envoy was. And the console is being used more towards 4, so that's where that's going to land. But it should be very blade neutral feeling. You shouldn't feel any blade. It should feel really kind of just mild and efficient, which sounds weird, but like you shouldn't feel the blade, but the hair should disappear. Yes, Black Friday for 1977. Yes, that'll definitely be a reality. Okay, so I'm using console, and I'm using a Perma Sharp blade. Or no, Paul Silver. I'm using a Paul Silver blade. I have old stock of Paul Silver. There was another question I missed. Hold on, let me go back up. Oh, tungsten blades. Jorgen Sandstrom, we covered this a couple of weeks ago or months ago, whatever. We approached Accutech, and Accutech is the actual manufacturer of Persona. Persona is just a brand. They don't have a factory. Accutech is their factory in Virginia. And we sent them a sample. I sent them the original advertisement, like pictures of Persona 74s. No one there had any idea what it was. No one had a clue. Even the old timers didn't know. And they basically were like, yeah, if you got 7 figures to invest, we can maybe look at doing some custom blades in tungsten. And but there's no guarantees it's going to be like the originals. It could be far off. And I don't have 7 figures to invest for far off things. So I just thought, no. Sorry. How does it feel compared to SR71 Slime? Mr. E, I haven't done a flat out comparison of Sentry. I wasn't trying to like position it in the marketplace. I was trying to make sure it was consistent within the brand. And so my prototyping and experimentation was just me using it and then using console side by side. And I even did, I think, a couple shaves here with the Sentry. So it was just more me making sure that it did what it claims to do, which is bring the adjustable console down to a 3-piece and have a one setting that kind of represents it pretty well. But you're seeing my 4 days of growth is just disappearing. And you see something like doing a sideburn, all you have to do is just kind of compensate just a little bit, and it's fine. No, I do not leave my blades tight in the razor. Absolutely not. I'll show you what I do here when I'm done. It's a cool little trick you can do with the rec stands. Favorite aspect of consoles breaking and new blades did for me have rough first shave. Cool. Yeah, consoles should be able to go through hair very easily. In fact, I'm going to turn it down to slightly. I think this blade's on its way out. This is probably shade number 4 or 5 from this Paul Silver blade, and that for me, that's done. So I think this is. How tall are your ceilings? You know, I don't know. This is an older house, and yes, I'm 6'8", and so these must be like 7 foot or maybe 7.5 foot tops. This is the little bathroom, though. This is like our ensuite bathroom. Our master bedroom's right over here. We've remodeled most of the house. We haven't touched the bathrooms. So at some point, we'll remodel these and we'll raise the ceiling. And honestly, at that point, I'll probably do some cool stuff with lighting to make it so that it's like a studio. I'm not joking. And then it's a business expense. I have a I have a bathroom that doubles as a video studio. Okay, I remember seeing a really neat cutting force graph. I engineered tested a bunch of D-blades at first. It was neat seeing a lot of the blades actually get sharper after first pass with coating wears. You know, I remember seeing something like that too, and I'm pretty sure the conclusion was that feathers were like not on the sharp list. Feather was not like sharpest, it was like down the list. But then everyone says feather is the sharpest from usage. And so I don't know. Anywhere where people are using like tests with putting force and stuff, and that's how sharp a blade is, I don't know. Maybe it's empirically true, but then you ask people what they perceive as true and it's different. What's my favorite blade to use? I've said this many times: Permasharp, Paul Silver, Persona 74, Persona Lab Blues. Other cool thing about the adjustable slant is like for my neck, I'm going to bring it down a little bit for my neck. See, that's the thing. A Sentry's not going to replace console, just like Envoy never replaced Ambassador. There's going to be the guys like me who want to be able to change it mid-shave, and they're going to want the adjustable. And there's guys who are like, I just set it and forget it. Well, yeah, go get the 3-piece. Let's talk back. I didn't even finish about Idaho. Idaho was cool. I really had a good time. Idaho had a good time. I really had a good time. Hung out with a lot of people that I just didn't really know too much. Like part of this, I always tell people like my perception of the shaving community is probably outdated. It really is, and it's probably also based around like where I hang out, which is mostly Facebook and YouTube. Whereas there's whole communities on Instagram and discourse and chat rooms that I just miss. I just don't hang out there, so I don't see this part of the community. I hung out a lot with Chris Kirchen from Carve Razors. Chris and I are good buddies. We smoked a lot of cigars and drank a lot of whiskey together. Hung out with Paul Trotter from Trotter Brushes, the Trotter Handcraft. In fact, I commissioned a brush from Paul. I didn't really even know he existed. His brushes are gorgeous, so hopefully soon, next couple of weeks, I will be using that for all my live shaves. Seriously, because it's really cool. I love the Paul Trotter brushes. Hung out with a bunch of guys from what's called the Canadian Mafia, which is I guess some discourse thing. And now I'm on discourse, so I'm in this Canadian Mafia thing on discourse. So if you're on discourse, I'm trying to learn it, and I'm mostly just lurking, but I'm commenting here and there. It's a whole different world. Could you use a stool, then you could use more light from above. Ha ha ha. What blade do I recommend for beginners? Get a variety pack. I'm not gonna. There's not a secret sauce. Get a variety pack. Try a bunch. Hello, Sebastian from Ezra Arthur. Unless that's Christian. I forgot what knot I ordered. It was like his nicer Badger one. He has a special synthetic thing, and I'm some G7C or something synthetic. I've never been a synthetic fan, but I did have another friend that I got to know, Caleb from Aylesworth Razors, and he's going to send me one of these G7C or GC7, whatever, synthetics, next generation synthetic for me to do, and we'll make a video out of it because I think it's a cool thing. And we may be picking up Aylesworth Razors after our meetup because I just had such a fun time hanging out with Caleb. He's a cool dude. We got along like peas and carrots. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. The meetup itself, I was really impressed with the planning, and I commend Matt Darlington from Teton Brushes or Teton Shave, whatever it is, for putting it on. It seemed like it definitely has kind of gained a following. He said this year the attendance was down from what he wanted. Yeah, T1 Badger. That's it, Matt Fox. Yep, that's it. T1 Badger. Matt said that the attendance was down from what he wanted and expected. It was a little higher last year. And I said, there's ebbs and flows. Things can go like that. But I commend him. I really do, for putting on a cool event. And a lot of Canadians came. People from the Pacific Northwest. I met Austin from AA Shave. Jared from, was it Thirsty Badger, I think. So it was hilarious. I was hanging out. There was like two houses where people were staying. I was staying at the hotel. I was staying at the Marriott because I'm a passenger princess. I was like the events down there, the morning of, I just want to be in the hotel. I'll just walk out my door and go down to the meetup. But some people rented like VRBOs or Airbnb houses, and their houses became like the hangout place. And so I was hanging out there both nights, Friday night, Saturday night, hanging out there. But then one of the day, I think it was Friday during the day. Yeah, Friday day. I think I had breakfast with them or lunch, and then I was like, oh, I'll just walk back to my hotel. It's like a 20-minute walk. I don't want anyone to have to drive me anywhere. No big deal. I'm gonna go hang out in my hotel room or whatever. Take a power nap because I'm old. And a minivan drove by. No joke. A minivan. It was a Honda Odyssey minivan, and Chris Kirchin from Carbs driving it, and then Jared from this Thirsty Badger, and Carlos, and I think one other guy. I think it may have been Paul. No, it's Caleb. Caleb from Aylesworth. I think we're all inside the van. And they're like, hey, and they just saw me walking down the street. They're like, hey, man, do you even wet shave? And I was like, what? And then they're like, get in the van. And we all went to get some beers and stuff. It was fun. It's a small town. So if you ever go to the Idaho Falls, a very small town, very cute and quaint. And everything's a mile apart. We come out having that as a recurring joke. Everything's 1 mile away. So yeah, it was a good meetup. The vendor side, there was probably a good 10 or 15 vendors that displayed. And I bought the brush. I don't think I bought anything else really. But yeah, just had a really fun time hanging out with everybody. I'm going to finish up with the Nordic Splash. Yeah, guys, I'm going Splash this time. So I had a fun time. They were asking me about our meetup. As you guys know, we have the Arizona Shavers meetup in February historically. And so they were saying they were trying to do the math if they could swing coming. Oh man, that's nice. So about a year ago, we finally got our alcohol permit, and we switched to having actual ethanol, like 190 proof, ethanol alcohol in these. And wow, it's nice. I like that. And then plus that has like no smell to it, so then your fragrances really can come out better. But anywho, yeah, Ohio, Cincinnati, Idaho is cool. Different communities. Sentry's coming out. Nordic, get Nordic, dude. It just was flying. I sold a lot of it at the show. I sold a lot of 1955. Sold a lot of T-shirts. I really didn't go to like make a bunch of money. I just wanted to kind of meet people. We made some money, but I wasn't like I didn't bring everything. I brought a single box and I mailed it ahead of me. Some people like Vanulay, Monica, and I like I like Monica a lot. Hung out with her a lot. She brought like probably 100 or 75 different soaps, and she had all these soaps stacked up on racks, and I'm just sitting here like watching her set this whole thing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is way more effort than I'm gonna put into this. Um, yeah. Anywho, what else? What else has happened? We're gonna top off the green tea. What else is happening? Any other? We've gone for 26 minutes. Maybe I'll cut it at 30 minutes. So any other questions? Q&A is a good time. Shave finished off nice. So I'm actually going to dispose of my blade. Oh, that's right. I wanted to show you what I do with my razor. So check this out. If you have one of the Rex razors, there's a reason to get a stand. So you loosen that, right? Let that drop. And then grab your stand and do this. And you can see that? It pops the top cap. And then you can then the blade's going to air out. Pretty cool. But I'm actually going to I'm going to toss this blade because it has seen its service. And my wife's a nurse, and she brought one of these home. So yes, I have one of these in my bathroom. So that's the official place to put your blades, as a sharps container. Get one on Amazon. I thought about like buying a bunch at wholesale and bringing them on so we can retail them. I'm like, people can just buy them on Amazon. They don't need to buy them from me. Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be a haircut day in the next week or so. What do I do when it's full? Dude, I've been putting so many blades in here. It's all dusty from sitting on top of the cabinet. We also have like sharps in here, like actual needles, because my wife, she has to take like a B12 shot every couple months, and she just self-administer, or I'll administer. I'm like, oh, honey, and I poke her like right in the right spot. She tells me. But anywho, look at here. Look at all these blades. Yes. Dirty, rusty, sharp blades. When it's all done, go take it by like a pharmacy, like a Walgreens, and then just say, hey, this is a sharps container, and they're going to add it to their sharps. And any hospital or pharmacy has a company that comes through and picks up those sharps containers, and then I believe they melt them. I think they incinerate them. So that's what happens. The console handle fit the ambassador. So technically, yes. We do thread lock them together. And it's not to be like mean or like not wanting our customers to take razors apart. It just has to do with the way this mechanism works. And this is a grandchild of the Gibbs razor. I've never hid that fact. This is a grandson of the Gibbs. When this handle gets turned and tightened all the way up, there's a thread in here, and that thread is where the nut rides. This nut travels on that same thread, and so does your handle. They have to be clocked, and people say, what does that mean? And if you notice, the vendors who haven't done that always have difficulties with the handle going up too high, and then the nut won't be able to turn down, or they get stuck on each other because it's like two nuts, like double nutting something, where they force themselves together on the same thread. So it's not like the handle comes from the factory and we just screw it on and it's done. We actually trim and adjust, and there's another little secret thing we do. I won't talk about it, but there's another component that goes involved with this handle, and it basically gets clocked or matched to that assembly. And if you take it off and put it on another console, it won't be the same. All of a sudden now, when you turn the adjustment nut, it may stop too short, like it stops at setting 4 or 5, it won't get to number 6, or it'll go too long and you have like multiple rotations around. And I've seen other vendors who have copied the Gibbs style, and they have stuff like that where the nut travels too far or it jams up at the handle. And so we stop that by a process that we developed. It's not that hard. You probably can figure out what it is. But then we kind of set it in stone with thread lock. We're like, no, no, that's where it stops right there. And the reason is back almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago, when we were developing the Ambassador, which I don't even have, I would hand the Ambassador to customers in my first little lobby, and I was like, oh, what do you think about this? And I would always watch their hands. I would never look at their eyes. I would watch their hands. And without thread lock, customers would start turning this nut, the TTO nut, or they would start turning this, and all of a sudden the handle came off, and now they couldn't figure out how to put it back together. And I'm not saying that I'm some mechanical genius, and I'm not saying that the average wet shaver isn't mechanically inclined, but I would watch grown men not be able to put back this assembly, and they would just hand it back to me like in pieces, or like, here you go, I don't know what I did, I guess I broke it. And I was like, oh no, it just, the handle comes off. So we decided right there and then that we were going to make this so it was based around the user experience, and that it was easy to use, and you could turn the adjustment nut and you didn't have to worry about it coming apart in your hands. So that's why we do what we do. So back to your question, does the Ambassador handle work on the console? It would have to come from us like that. It would have to be clocked. But at the same time, I've really tried to refrain being a parts company and just throwing parts together. We really want to make like a razor experience for you, and we want our product to exist on the market and to be instantly recognizable. And if we started selling them with Ambassador handles, now people are going to see them in Shave of the Days, and they're going to write to us and say, we want this custom thing too. And before you know it, our brand has lost its value to me, and it just looks like a bunch of parts. And I'm not digging on companies that just kind of have a build your own razor, or slap this part with this part. That's just not what Rex is. Rex is about an experience, and we want to craft that experience for you. Blah. Hi, Matt. Can you make the Pastor Shave meetup? I found out about it like 2 weeks ago. I found out about it so fast, and it's too quick for me to be able to make with my schedule. Had I known about it weeks and months in advance, like I booked the Idaho meetup like 3 months before it happened to get good deals on airline tickets and stays. So had I known, I would have come, but it's too late now. So maybe if they can give more notice, or if I see the flyer like a few months out for the next one, I will definitely try to come. I've been to pastors. We sell Rex to pastors, to Leon. I like Leon a lot, like his meetups, and I'd love to attend one. Australia, posting things are expensive, but I'm going to get the 967 shaving cream. Ask one of I think we sell to Slick Boys down there, down under. There's another vendor, it's slipping my mind, but there's another Australian vendor we sell Rex to. Just ask them to stock it. Yes, Dave P90. So it is normal that the Ambassador goes from 0.5 to 6.5. Yes, that is the range. The range is one rotation. It's exactly one rotation. So it's 0.5 to 6.5. It's the same dot. I call that dot alpha and omega. It's the beginning and the end. So 360-degree rotation is the range for the Ambassador. Trying to stopping exactly at 6.5 is actually more difficult than you think. It comes down to having that handle and the tolerances within thousandths of an inch. It's not that much to make it go just a little bit more. So it's all hand done. Like the process is done one at a time. We mark it with a Sharpie, and then we have to adjust things, and then it gets locked in place. Because you got to remember, there's two, there's the thread and then there's the handle. And if that thread and handle aren't exactly at the right spot with where the threads started, it can go further. It's like it's called clocking threads. It's really, yeah, 1 to 6. So your console, GN Maria DL, Gianna Maria. I bet if you took some dish detergent and a toothbrush and cleaned it, it'll go from 0.5 to 6.5. It's probably just, you'd be surprised the smallest amount of shaving cream, and that again that's that area that's a couple thousandths of an inch, the difference between 1 and 0.5 will stop it. So try cleaning your adjustment nut with a little dish detergent and toothbrush. I bet it'll be perfect. Next, one-piece razor. Yeah, I don't have any updates on that. Don't have any updates. Let's just say that it's an engineering challenge, and it's trying to get a machine shop to agree to make pieces at certain prices. And right now, the doors and the center bar are just are just pricing themselves out of reality. So we're trying to work around that, but it's been hard because my focus is on other things. So I gotta sit back down with one of my partners, who's more of our engineering side, and three different machine shops we really work with here locally, and hammer it out. But hopefully we get there. How would you rank the aggressiveness of the Rex Envoy compared to, say, Gillette Red Super Speed? They're pretty similar. I think everyone agrees that the Gillette razors are pretty mild in comparison. Um, to today's razors. So I would say, yeah, it's the red tip and the Envoy are the closest, but even that Envoy may be slightly more aggressive. I am sweating in here. Will you test the Blackbird adjustable? Yeah, I've given some thought about that. Opening this little sliding door to get some fresh air in my bathroom. I've always tried to play nice in the sandbox with other vendors. I do commend Shane. I think he's done a cool thing with this Osprey adjustable razor. I watched his YouTube videos when he was designing it. Like, it'd be stupid for me not to. You should know the marketplace, especially when it comes to adjustable American-made razors, because Rex has held that title for 5.5 years. No one else has made an adjustable American-made stainless steel razor. That was us. And so now he's also in that same category. Will I test it? I think I have one or two friends out there in Facebook land that will send me one to test. I will. I probably will make a video. I'll try to be unbiased. It's going to be hard. I've heard some things. I don't really want to pontificate what I've heard. I've heard some people, are liking it and some people aren't. I think any razor is going to hit that category. Some people like our razor, some people don't. But I definitely think what he did was cool and looks really unique, and I hope it's been a smashing success. I don't agree. 1964 slim adjustable gives you razor burn if you're not careful. Well, yeah, that comes down to geometry. Some people think that, if it's not smooth, it doesn't matter what kind of blade you use, right? Do you ever or do plan at some point to do a video about the difference about evolution of Gillette Fat Point and Slim? Already did. Starling Photo. Go look at one of our most famous videos is the adjustable razor series video, the history of the Gillette adjustable. We go through the whole thing. Go look on our YouTube. Just type in for the Razor Emporium YouTube channel, type in adjustable and it'll come up. In Australia, it's pretty hot. I like the D community. I find cool stuff like vintage Gillette razors. Yeah. We're coming up at 40 minutes. I think I'm going to call it. I'm also having like a personal back pain issue. I had my normal vehicle was in for service, and I was in a smaller like extra car we have, and I kept on getting in and out for like 2.5 weeks. Plus I went on the airplanes to Idaho, and I'm huge. I'm 6'8", and my back just finally gave out. So I'm currently on some muscle relaxers and ibuprofen, and I'm literally going to be in bed the rest of the day. But I'm not joking. I got out of bed and I am here standing up for 40 minutes because I love you guys so much and love this community. But I'm actually wincing in pain, and I think it's time to get back in bed and and give some rest. I'll answer one or two more. I need an XL in gold. Yeah, there will be a Black Friday sale. Absolutely. We always do Black Friday sale. This year, with how the economy is, which is pretty crappy in my opinion, It's probably gonna be 25%. Years ago, like 2018, when things were roaring, we did like a 30%, but I don't think it's a 30% year. I think it'll be a 25% year. And it'll be store wide except for kits and Phoenix Artisan, because Phoenix Artisan doesn't allow it, which I respect. That's cool. But it'll be everything but kits, which are already discounted, plus Phoenix Artisan. Okay. What is your holy grail vintage razor? The nickel or chrome toggles, as they're called. Double ring. Yeah. Scratch and dent. Yeah, go to the Rex website. We always sell scratch and dent there. Yep, you're right. Yeah, I'm going to call it here at 40 minutes. I've been sipping on my green tea. I'll do one more pour. Oh, yeah. Enjoying this. Love my green tea. Yep, Sencha, baby. Thank you so much for checking out Razor and Party today. Thanks for sitting with me in my bathroom, hanging out, talking, shaving. Hope you like my new ring light. And by the way, this is the difference. We turn the ring light off. Here's my natural light. Ready? That's where I was at. Here's the ring light. So you guys tell me if the ring light looks better. Thank you. I'll be on Facebook Messenger if you want to hit me up. You have a question. And I answer almost all the comments personally. So we'll see you there. And thank you so much for watching Razor Emporium for all things vintage raising. We'll see you next time, guys.